Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, this is going to be a real quick video, relatively speaking. Looks like, according to reporting, we're down to Josh Shapiro and sorry, pregnant pause there. Tim Walz. Had to pause, couldn't remember his first name. Okay, so Josh Shapiro and Tim Walz are the final two reported candidates for Kamala Harris. I'm going to throw on the energy for both of those guys and see where we end up. You know, by the time you watch this tomorrow, the announcements probably already would have been made. So I'm recording this at about 9 o'clock Pacific time. I'll put it up as soon as I'm done. And then afterwards, well, it'll be for the curious to see if I guessed correctly. 50-50 shot, you know. I should probably flip a coin, see which one they think it is. All right. My brother and I have done a number of readings on the VP pick. We hadn't done Shapiro and Walz. Shapiro never made it past the Andy Bashir challenge, but we both saw Walz getting in. Let's see if that energy has changed. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. Let's look at little four-carder. What are we looking for with the VP ship? The Hermit card. Things are about to be revealed. It's going to be the unexpected candidate. I think a lot of people were saying they thought it was going to be Shapiro. They're looking at things in a different light. It's going to be announced, probably announced first thing in the morning. There'll probably be a press conference for it. It's probably going to, it's going to help fundraising. It'll probably appeal to young people. Interesting, though. 7 of Swords. It's like the dark horse candidate. Getting away with it. What is this sneaking around? This could be that the information was leaked. I know that I saw information saying that Josh Shapiro was going to be the person, and it could be that this information was leaked beforehand. But let's see what we've got going on here. You know, this could also be, you know, the candidate that might appeal to young people or the unexpected one. Honestly, to me, that seems like Tim Walz. Tim Walz seems like the dark horse candidate on this one. Josh Shapiro would seem to be the more traditional candidate. You know, get the governor of Pennsylvania to deliver you Pennsylvania type of thing. But Tim Walz, you know, high school teacher, football coach, you know, served in the National Guard. You know, he has an understanding of young people. That's also countered with the fact that Josh Shapiro is 52 years old, whereas Tim Walz is same age as Kamala Harris. They're both around 59 years old or so. Okay, let's look at four-carder for... Oh, I'll do a full spread for Josh Shapiro. The walking away card. That makes it seem like he's not getting it, huh? Crossed with the 6 of Swords, leaving. Emotionally, intellectually leaving. Does that mean he's leaving his state? 4 of Swords, going quiet, contemplative, behind the scenes type stuff. Boy, these are both cards of leaving here. What do we got? Oh, how interesting. So one of the foundation cards. In the past, he was the hangman. You know, looking at things from a different perspective, but this could also be tossed under the bus. One of the problems with Shapiro, apparently, is a sexual harassment claim that may not have been investigated properly in his offices, and that could be a problem. Current situation is the Lover's card, coming up with an agreement, or it could be that sexual harassment case that happened in the past. Justice card. Again, now Kamala Harris is supposed to be the law and order, or would be the law and order president, and you've got Justice here. Did he do what he was supposed to do? Look at all these major arcana here. Current situation is the Tower card. Good Lord! 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords, and the Tower card. Do we get the 10 of Swords next? Sudden endings, sudden changes. And the outcome is the 8 of Coins. Doing the hard work. I could make an argument where this could be, he's leaving Pennsylvania. He was he's kind of like the non-traditional choice. The offer was made. It's the right offer, and no, that doesn't ring at all. I don't think it's Josh Shapiro, despite the information being leaked out, that Seven of Swords leakage saying it was Josh Shapiro. I would be curious who leaked that. No, I think it's actually said who leaked it. It was like the mayor of some city or something like that. I'm wondering what that person's source was. Did Josh Shapiro say that? Those are not great cards. Lots of major arcana. I think what that is telling me is that sexual harassment thing that he did, that was not handled well. That's what's coming back to bite him. He needed to do a better job on that. Had he addressed that properly, his reward would be sitting as the VP candidate. Now, it's interesting again that in that hangman card in the past, that could be the low energy, throwing somebody under the bus, just blaming somebody, just dismissing it without investigating it properly. If that was never investigated properly, it looks like it probably will get investigated properly now. And I think that, especially with the Tower card there, ooh, if I'm wrong on this one, boy, it's going to be a fun day trying to figure out what that spread meant. All right, let's look at Tim Walz, shall we? Let's look at Tim Walz's outlook as the VP. But when Gary and I threw on Tim Walz, he had the star card as his signifier card. So yeah, he had a good card here. Let's look at the energy around Tim Walz. Queen of Swords. Okay, just note the black and white choice, and he has something of a black and white personality, but he's also a people person. He's kind of a balance to Kamala in that regard. And there's that heartbreak and betrayal. That card also came up for Tim Walz in the previous reading. What is going on here? Does Kamala not pick either one of these guys? Maybe he wasn't going to be her first pick. Burden. Hard work. I'm not sure what this disappointment is. Maybe some people said some things about him that weren't kind, or I'm curious. These aren't great cards either. Okay, in the past, I got the Ace of Pentacles. Kind of a strong idea, strong push with him. Current situation is the Knight of Wands. Planning, moving forward. Oh, it could be that announcement was made. He thought he had it, and he felt like, reading about it in the news and not hearing it from Kamala Harris could have broke his heart. That might make sense. And, it could be crushing to him because he thought he had done all the work. And that may not be the case. This might be the leaking that happened. Knight of Wands. He's a planner. He takes his time. He thinks things through. He gets things done. Overarching energy is the King of Swords. Interestingly, he seems to be a really good match with her. They see eye to eye. Now, I can't remember if he had a legal career. I didn't think he did. But, there's a synergy here between the two of them. That's pretty awesome, actually. Lesson to be learned is the 9 of Coins from this. Donors might like him. Minnesota has certainly benefited from him. I know Minnesotans are going to be heartbroken to see him leave. From the comments that I've read from people from Minnesota, they love him. They want him around. It just might be that he makes Kamala a better woman. In other words, if he can be, if he can take on, good cop, bad cop, she can sometimes be the bad cop and he can be the good cop, but I think he has the ability to be the bad cop. Or more to the point, he has the ability to deliver a message that makes Kamala look better. Outcome is the 7 of Wands. Position of advantage, fighting the good fights. Yeah. Okay, so looking at the energy of these two guys, I would say Tim Walz has the better energy. This card's the only confusing one, and that could be something as simple as that the Seven of Swords that was underneath there on the main reading, which was just basically, it looked like that information got leaked prematurely. And I did see that this morning. Okay, so just looking at the energy of those cards, I would say Josh Shapiro is going to come in a solid second place. Assuming that it's between Tim Walz and Josh Shapiro. Tim Walz looks like he's on top. Let's just do a challenge reading. What was the final decision for Kamala Harris? And I'll have Shapiro on my left, the first spread, and then Tim Walz on the right. Okay? Final decision for Kamala Harris is that Kamala Harris gets to make the decision. She had two candidates. Either one would be great. One was a little bit better than the other. That's what we get. For Mr. Shapiro, the Justice card. Here we go again. We saw that. Oh, God. 8 of Cups, 9 of Coins, and the Moon card. I think she would have been happy to have him. I think that would have helped with matters, except he didn't deal with the office issue. The sexual harassment in his office. There might be a lawsuit coming from this. And it disqualified him because it's unknown. She doesn't know what to do with it. What kind of damage control? How bad is it? This could be really bad. Do I really want to deal with this? When you got Tim Walz over here, who doesn't appear to have any skeletons in his closet. There's no information that's leaked out. Or if there's any bad stuff on him, they can keep it quiet. Okay? You can read it either way. But basically, whereas this guy's got some really public stuff, Tim Walz doesn't. There's your Hanged Man card. Could be a new perspective, as well as looking at, could be being thrown under the bus. But I think that's the new perspective card. The 6 of Coins and the 6 of Wands. So when she looks at him, she sees the, he's an unusual choice. He's well liked by, the donors as well as the people that he governs over. And he's a winner. It's funny because the next card underneath here is the King of Swords. I saw that as I was flipping over. It's... Tim Walz. Gary and I said Tim Walz. When I compare Shapiro and Tim Walz, I come up with Tim Walz. When I look at the energy around him, Tim Walz looks like he's in better shape. If the Shapiro would be picked if they don't feel like they have any issues with that sexual harassment case in his office. Okay? So if Shapiro gets picked, it means that they've done their vetting and they think they've got everything they need to know about that sexual harassment case and they're comfortable with it. But my interpretation of the cards, my intuition tells me they don't have a good feel for it, and that's the disqualifying factor. It would be his job if it were not for that. Now, it's funny because you could say, that there's already TikToks like, Josh Shapiro's sexual harassment. It's like, y'all concerned about rape now, or sexual harassment and molesting women and grabbing them by the hoo-has and all sorts of stuff like that. Now you're concerned about that? Look at your presidential candidate for the Republican side. Twice losing defamation cases for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. Stormy Daniels testified in his New York criminal trial about their encounter. And, he pays off porn stars. He has affairs on all his wives. He has babies from three different women. And he's been convicted of rape. But tell me again how Josh Shapiro can't possibly hold high office because of a sexual harassment case in his office. But for the Democrats, when you're spoiled for choice, you can do these things. For the Republicans that talk out of both sides of your mouth, shut up. And it's not really Republicans, it's MAGA. Let's be clear. Okay, so Tim Walz. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.